What's up, guys? I'm Joe. Today I'm talking about the new studio album from St. Vincent, Masseduction. So, St. Vincent is back with a new album, Masseduction. She's also known as Annie Clark, or perhaps it should be the other way around. Her real name is Annie Clark. Her music name is St. Vincent, or whatever you would call it. So yeah, this is her 5th studio album, and whoa! What's up with the album cover? Oh my god! I'll have you know that I like the album, but I do hate the cover. I have seen that comment on so many YouTube videos, interviews of hers, music videos, reviews of the album. Everyone's got to let you know that they hate the album cover, and I don't know why. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a butt. I mean, relax, people. It's not that bad. But anyway, St. Vincent is back, and I do really, really enjoy this album. I'll put that right out there from the beginning. St. Vincent is a very interesting artist, one that came on my radar a couple years ago. She's a very odd artist. Her music can be pretty weird from times, and there's just a lot going on with it. It could be pop-oriented, but you can also get these garagey, indie kind of guitars and, rock-based songs. And at the same time, she might have a choral vocal arrangement on top of it. All sorts of stuff going on in her albums. All really great stuff. Her last record, a self-titled album, was probably the weirdest she had gotten as far as a sort of, electronic-based, fuzzy guitar, but also pop Latin songs. There's just a lot going on with the album. Very interesting. Kind of hard to hone in on and get into at first. But, once it grows on you, it really is some great stuff. Also a point to add that she is a really great guitar player. So with that being said, I was very interested to see where she would go next. And, what we have here is easily her most accessible album from the beginning. She has definitely honed in her sound and restrained herself on some of these more experimental tendencies that she has had in the past. And by no means is that bad in this case. Sometimes that could be problematic. Sometimes it might leave you wanting more, you might think they've sold out or something like that. But I think here it just works perfectly. And she's just, she's taken the sound from the self-titled album and just reeled it in big time. And, what you have is a very focused sounding album to me. But also a pretty good variety of stuff. You have some ballad-based songs like Happy Birthday Johnny. You have the title track Masseduction, which has a industrial kind of feel to it, some hard-hitting bass and a nice groove. You have some more somber-sounding tunes like the opener Hang On Me, that immediately gets turned on its head by the song Pills, which is this very upbeat, peppy-sounding song. And then you even have some of her choir-like tendencies, like in a song like Young Lover. Overall, I think her vocal performance on here is just really great. There's a lot of emotion going on. Possibly my favorite song on here is Happy Birthday Johnny. The song really paints a picture, tells a story of, either an old friend or old lover, something like that, who, is much more down on their luck than she is, and is, angry with her about her fame. So, not only do you have this, possibly real story, I would say that it probably is to an extent. I know Annie had mentioned in interviews that you're getting the real St. Vincent with this album. If you really want to know Annie Clark, this is the album to listen to. So with that being said, I'd say there's a lot of truth going on in this song. So not only does it tell the story, it's also an opportunity for her to kind of grapple with her own fame, which I think is a pretty cool thing to go at and a very honest thing to go at. The song Pills has this crazy hook on it, that pills, pills, pills kind of part, which I thought was annoying at first. I was, not too drawn in by that single. But it's really grown on me. I especially like when the instrumentation changes around it, the drum beat slows down later on. It's a cool little social commentary about, needing medication to do just about anything. And that sort of robotic or ultra catchy sounding chorus just reminds you of a medicine commercial or something like that. So that's why I just think it's just so clever. But the highlight of this song is the last half where everything slows down. I absolutely love the melody going on here. It totally turns the song on its head and just, it's just a really great outro overall. I do like that you get a good amount of her signature kind of guitar playing. I've always thought that she has a pretty unique style of playing guitar. And you could definitely hear that on here, especially on a song like Masseduction. Some cool riffs going on there. Overall, really good beat to this one. Nice feel to it. From a lyrical standpoint as well, again, not getting into a personal, emotional kind of thing, but the message of it, the, I can't turn off what turns me on kind of thing. She continues with this sexual vibe on a couple of the other songs on here, And, ultimately it just makes, for more of her just kind of bearing all of this album. You get it again with a song like Savior, where this is just like a very bouncy, flirtatious kind of sound to it, which is pretty cool. Los Angeles is another big standout for me. Does a good job of mixing up the instrumentation here, as far as you have guitars and bass, but you also have electronics going on. It just blends really well together. I think the highlight of the song is the big chorus. Fear the Future is a pretty interesting song. It's probably the weirdest it gets on here as far as the instruments go. It's very loud, very noisy track. Has an industrial kind of vibe to it. And, it just adds a nice element of uniqueness to the album. A lot more diversity into the way the different kinds of styles play out on the record. The same could be said about a song like Young Lover, which has this, great kind of outro to it as well. It's like a choral-sounding vocal on top of these loud, grinding guitars. Overall, pretty unique and a pretty cool way to end that track, which kind of starts like it has more of a poppy feel to it, before ultimately kind of falling apart in a sense and just getting very chaotic as it goes on. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Overall, there's not really a song on here that I don't enjoy. I think it all works very well as an album for me. It feels cohesive, it feels focused. Well, I could say that you do sometimes miss some of her sort of quirkiness with her music here. It's definitely there to an extent. It's not, a complete pop statement like I would say some of the other reviews I've seen or articles written about it are saying. It's not full-on St. Vincent goes pop here. There's a lot of pop sensibility, there's a lot of hook, there's a lot of catchiness, but, overall, you're still getting some of that St. Vincent quirkiness. You get her signature kind of guitar sound in a lot of these songs, her signature kind of vocal performances. Like I said, the vocals in particular are fantastic on here. You can just feel the emotion coming off of the realness of the lyrics. So overall, very solid release from St. Vincent. I am liking them a lot. I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5. So yeah, let me know what you think of the record in the comments. Check out some other reviews that are going up, have been put up recently as well. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.